Hello, welcome back to our Ask Me Anything segment on the Work It podcast. Today, our question is, when should HR be getting back to you after a job interview? We have a listener, I'll call him Gary. He wrote a long email actually detailing what he went through while looking for a job. I won't go into the specific details, but he has been at the receiving end of HR not getting back to him after the interview was done. So as young people would say these days, HR ghosted him. So today we want to ask, how long should you wait for HR to get back to you after a job interview? And why does HR ghost applicants? Gerald, why?
Yeah, so thank you, Gary, for sharing your questions. I think this thing about HR ghosting, you're certainly not the only one that's haunted by this ghost, right? There's a lot of people out there who send in tons of applications and they really don't know where the applications go.
Yeah.
Right? There are job portals out there that have this status of whether your resume is being read or not, and sometimes that status never gets updated. It's still always under review. And then after going through several rounds of interviews and getting ghosted still, I think it's really very frustrating. Yeah, exactly. It's frustrating. So I think some of the common reasons why this happens is very simply, sometimes HR forgets to close the loop with the candidates. Yeah.
You had one job.
Yeah. Sometimes they do forget because their focus is really on pushing the successful ones forward. Sometimes you might see emails that says that you'll only be notified if you are successful.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's like their disclaimer to tell you that if they don't follow up with you, at some point you got to drop the interest on the job itself automatically. When people go through like what Gary went through, right, several rounds, I think he probably has a very bad impression of the company right now. So if you're a HR person listening in, please close off the loop with all your candidates. Put it into your process to send them a note. If possible, also tell them like what are the areas that they may have been unsuccessful, where did they lose out, so that they have some closure. That's the other point that a lot of job seekers often say. Even if they get a rejection email, they do want to know where could they have done better.
Okay.
Right.
That takes a lot of time. I mean, to be fair to HR, it does take a lot of time, and I think a lot of people at least would just rather just let me know, because should I be waiting say 2 weeks or a month or 5 days? I mean, I guess that's one of the things that Gary was also asking. Like, is there a time limit as to when and how long should I be waiting for before I consider my next option? Or they could have possibly 2 job offers on the line that they are waiting for as well.
Yeah, so when you are kind of holding out for multiple offers or multiple job search opportunities, then time is of the essence. So I would recommend not waiting anything longer than 2 weeks.
Okay.
Right. So there's no hard and fast rule around this, but sometimes the hiring company could take longer than 2 weeks to get back to you. So if in Gary's case, if he doesn't hear back from the company within 2 weeks, it may not mean that the job is gone.
Okay.
It could be sometimes Gary is on the KIV list of candidates. There are many other people that need to be screened through and to be interviewed before the hiring manager decides. So HR is actually waiting for the manager to give their verdict.
Okay.
In the midst of recruitment, especially during the holiday season, the manager might go overseas.
Oh.
And then that's where some of the recruitment gets hanged.
Wow.
In the midst of the air, and then candidates kind of have to wait a little bit longer. But of course, again, good HR practitioners, good recruiters, they will keep the candidates warm. They will tell them that, hey, we need a bit more time to review the outcome, so be patient with us. Yeah. So, but of course, it can some of these cases can go up to 2 months. I heard of cases where people thought that the job is done and dusted. They missed the opportunity. 2 months later, ding ding, they get a call and they said, hey, you are selected or you are invited for the next round again. So it really happens. And this offer was from a big tech firm, a multinational tech firm. So I can imagine the number of applicants they had to process. So it's really case by case. Don't put eggs in one basket, one job role just because you've gone through several rounds. Keep interviewing so that you get multiple offers. Okay. And you can properly evaluate which is the best for you.
So what happens if I don't hear back after 2 weeks? Should I say drop a note, ask if I'm still being considered?
Yeah, you should most definitely drop a note to the hiring manager or the HR person who was liaising with you,
Okay.
you can just inquire about the status politely, right? Find out from them what's the status and whether you made it to the next round. And I say politely because there are many job seekers sometimes out of the anxiety, right? They send multiple emails.
Okay.
And then it gets irritating for the HR person. So
should I be honest as well and say that, hey, I'm considering something else, so it will be good to let me know if I'm still on the KIV list?
I think if that is really the case, I think you it's okay for you to say that, but don't say that
As a threat.
As a threat, yeah.
Okay.
Because be honest lah. People on the other side, you don't know how they will perceive your statement. They might think of you trying to push them, and they might call you out on your bluff lah. Yeah. So I think be honest. At least you know that whatever happens, right? You didn't sabotage yourself lah in that sense.
Well, yeah, thank you so much, Gerald, for letting us know, some of these helpful tips that maybe, Gary could use. Gary, this is not a nice situation to be in, and hopefully you'll find some closure. Hopefully they will reply back to you, and that's what Gerald say. Just keep applying for jobs. I wish you all the best. If you have a question for us, send to us at cnapodcasts@mediacorp.com.sg. We'll love to hear from you. Give us any feedback. I'm Tiffany.
And I'm Gerald, wishing you a fun work week ahead.